Hello, hello, welcome. Happy Monday. Welcome to Working It Out with Damian-Michael Williams. And my name is Damian-Michael Williams. I'm your host for today. And I am so extremely excited to have you and to be here. And I just wanted to, before we go any further, I want to let all of you that feel like you may be alone with anything to the point of suicide. You're not alone. Someone is waiting to talk to you. You can give a offline. 1-800-273-8255. That's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That's 1-800-273-8255. Someone's waiting for your call. So let's jump into it. Today's subject for this episode is mental health, of course, along with sexual and romantic relationships. And today I'm extremely excited because I have an amazing fellow king who is a singer, actor, and also just to know he's also last night auntie. So without any further ado, I want to bring to you Mr. Neil Taffe.
Hey, what's up, D?
Hey, hey.
What's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Just here trying to live my life.
I understand. How's that been for you during the pandemic and all of this craziness going on?
Well, all of the gigs shut down.
Wow.
I finished my last gig on March 8th, and we were supposed to do it again in the end of March, and that was like, nope. So then I started sitting home waiting for the pandemic to pass. 6 months later. How long have we been here?
Yeah, I February because actually was here, but officially March. So March, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, about 8 months now.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been just getting my life together. A lot of school.
And what have you done to do that, to make the process go forward?
Say it again, you broke up a little bit.
I said, what have you been doing to create a process, for the next move, the next step?
Oh, well, I've been doing a lot of internal work.
Okay.
A lot of releasing myself of things that I grew up with that don't serve me right now.
Okay.
And I've been seeing my therapist once a week, and which is a blessing because that's exactly what I needed at this time. To be able to have a conversation with people and find out where the blocks were or where the hurt is and get all of that out.
Truth. Yeah, a lot of people don't know the importance or the value of therapy. We all need someone, on a high educational level for that specific reasons, to help us be deep and be candid and be naked. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. But between that and prayer, I'm good.
Hey, amen to that. Amen. So just to get right into that, of course, as you know, the subject and our topic for today is mental and sexual relationships. How has that affected you during this pandemic, or just period?
You be talking about mental health?
Mental health and also sexual relationships or romantic relationships.
Well, right now there's no romantic relationship going on.
Got you.
It's dry. Mm-hmm. Speaking of dry, let me drink some wine. Hold on. Ooh. So, so that part is out. But as far as mental health is concerned, these times has really challenged my mental capacity because it actually started. I realized what was happening to me when George Floyd got murdered. And it triggered stuff that I had blocked in my mind that I didn't remember. So
Okay.
there was an incident when I was younger where my father was beaten up in front of the police. He was beaten up by the police right in front of me and my little brother.
Oh,
And
wow.
this was in England, so I was really young. And then when I was teenage, I lived in Brooklyn, and I saw my brother outside with my friends, and they were being detained by the police. So I
Wow.
went downstairs to see what was happening, and the police man held a gun to my face, was like, "Come outside, come outside!" And my mother's pulling me. So all of these traumatic experiences that I've had, and it all started coming up. So thank God for therapy again, and that allowed me to release some of those things or really understand why I was feeling so much pain from what was happening, because I
Mm-hmm.
also had trauma that I was dealing with or didn't deal with that started surfacing. So
Ah,
yeah, so that's why another reason why
what was
I'm
the key point? What was the key point? What triggered you to see, like, okay, I need to talk? What was that moment?
you said why I need to talk to.
What triggered, what was the moment where you were triggered to know and to talk about it? You
Oh,
needed therapy.
I actually started my therapy last September.
Wow.
So that happened after a breakup, which was, it was like, when things happen the way they're supposed to happen. I was going
Right.
to the beach with a friend of mine, and he started talking about his therapist. And I was like, "You see a therapist?" He said, "Yeah." Gave me the information. I wasn't really thinking about it. I was like, "Yeah, that'd be cute, that'd be cute." And then I had a breakup, and I was like, "I need therapy." And then the therapist called me the week later, and I started therapy like October.
Okay. Okay. And as you stated before, it's been a blessing for you.
Okay, you broke up again.
I apologize. As you stated earlier, it's a blessing for you.
You said I said it what?
It's been a blessing for you.
You do that Max Headroom thing like, go.
Or
You.
you.
Let's do smoke signal. Hold on, let me get my bong.
Yeah, let me here, we'll get a little further. Modern day technology. Wow.
Okay. Listen, Damien. Oh, he's put the question in the chat.
Yes, I see. I'm going to have to, because before I do,
Come on, toast, brother.
toast. Cheers. Oh,
Okay, let's see what the question
since
is.
I have to do, but how the process has been.
Oh, that's Drake. So, okay. How's the process been while going? Okay, so the process is completely different now because I used to go
Okay.
into the office to see him, but now I do everything by Skype. No, they have like a portal that I go through that I see every week. But the process has been very detailed and specific because I have been living a long life with a lot of stuff that I've been piling on top of stuff. So I have my brother's death. I have, death of family members, the COVID thing happening, being out of work, being all this stuff. So all of this stuff is piling up. So chipping away at the blocks to get to the core of my emotions, which has been blocked for years. Because like when things happen to you, you block it so it doesn't hurt you anymore or avoid situations. So yeah, that's what it's been. And I started reading this book called The Body Keeps the Score. by Bessa Vandercoat. I forgot his name, but anyway, so it talks about people that have traumatic experience like PTSD, people from the army, people that's been raped, people that have been abused, and all these things. So it's talking about all the visceral stuff that holds on to all of that. So, yep, I will tell you how the book is. I'm into chapter 3 right now, and it's lovely.
Beautiful.
Yep.
She is.
Now that you have been in therapy, how has it helped you reflect positively on your past relationships? It's allowed me to not just forgive them, but forgive myself. Because I'm the type of person, I will take the brunt or take the blame or take the responsibility before I give it to you.
Okay.
So that is very damaging to me because I'm always taking the blows. I'm always making up excuses for people. I'm always like, oh no, maybe they meant it like that. No, he's a bastard. Okay, fine. So I keep having these conversations with myself. I talk to myself, not out loud, but you have that internal voice that talks to you, you know, whether it's a voice of your mother or your voice of your father, that adult that told you, you can't do that. Don't do that. That's bad.
Right. Right.
So all of those things I'm stripping away that it like causes me anguish. Like I'm here drinking wine and it's like, you're not supposed to drink wine because you're Seventh-day Adventist. Shut up, head.
We're like, stop it. Stop it.
Stop.
Stop it now, I say.
So the mind is a very interesting, you know, mechanical being that sometimes takes over what you want to do because you have all the fear of doing or the consequences of what's going to happen.
Yeah. Fear is a horrible thing. It really
Isn't it? It serves us in certain situations, but sometimes it's holding us back from our purpose or our goals. You know, because we adults, we know about consequences and pain and all these things that we've experienced. But there are kids over there just jumping around and playing their lives, and they're living because they don't know about judgment or racism and hurt or heartbreak.
Exactly.
So
true.
I heard true. Okay, yes, I believe it. Let's drink to that. I can't be drinking too much. I got an audition to come up to do.
Oh, one glass of wine. Cheers.
Okay, thank you. See, that's the inner voice again. That responsible, that adult voice. Like, you know you're not supposed to be drinking. You have an audition to do. But can I have one drink, please?
Like shame.
Shame.
Man.
Yes.
Okay. I got you.
What does life mean to you when it comes to mental? It's that balance between the good and the bad. You know, the good and evil voice. Because you need to know what the bad is in order to enjoy the good.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been kind of bad during the time when I've been here, you know, let myself go. I gained like 35 pounds and I was eating everything and just chilling and doing nothing. And that's what I needed because as entertainers and all that stuff, we could just keep running. And all of those, now we're not being affected because we just going. So I had time to sit down and be affected. Being a man of a certain age, do you find yourself settling into being alone with exploring new love with others? I want to be in a relationship, but right now is not the right time. So, you know, I have to do a lot of my soul searching. So I need to clean up what I need to get rid of some of my baggage before I get into a relationship. And because I'm still damaged from what happened prior, I need to heal myself before I take that mess into something else.
Right.
Being still is vital. Okay, yeah. What'd you say? What does a healthy relationship look like to you? It depends. You know, everybody has their ideal relationship, you know, white picket fence, or this person has to look this size, this height. It's all about who fills your soul, who touches that inner part of you that makes you feel like you could be vulnerable at any time and they'll support you. So that's what it is. I need somebody who's going to support me in my down times and not, um, just be supportive, because everybody's going through a journey. So we have to be accommodating to people's needs and wants.
Right.
And there's a lot of selfish people out there that are just down for their agenda.
Right.
He said, Damon, I'm going to pop. So what? Oh,
Hey, everybody. So we're going to allow Damien to pop off so he can reboot. I'm going to step in for a second. As you know, I am Dre Fields. I am the producer of Working It Out and president and owner of Mahogany Steel Projections. So Neil and I go back to, oh my God, when AOL was popular. Okay. When AOL had chat rooms.
Hey, you just dated us.
I'm still younger, so I don't mind that you're old. I'm still younger. So yeah, and people and the viewers that are watching us that are friends of ours know that we fight like this all the time. All the time. But no, I'm really excited that not only that you're doing the show, but that you did started doing like the work and finding out like you're not always responsible for the BS, romantic lovers that try to put you through. And it warms my heart that, I don't have to check nobody no more. Like
not right now.
You know what I'm saying? That was kind of, I was starting to go have to buy a t-shirt that said you ain't gonna make it, just so I could that way it would just been easier just to walk around like you ain't gonna make it. Like so
never would have made it. Never could have made it. I'ma punch you.
Facts. Okay. And mean it. Okay. And mean it. But so in the factor of in your self-discovery with therapy and things, and now because we are in a pandemic, it is kind of easy not to really, what you say, to distance yourself from being romantically involved. So when the world finally does open back up, do you have are you working towards steps in like proper dating, steps in, being in, the over 40 club, in how you are going to handle sexual relationships, because sexual relationships are very different when you're 20 and 30 than when you're 40 and 50.
Look, I'm 52, gonna be 53. I ain't got time for no nonsense.
Well, yeah, people say that.
Waiting for so I know what I want and I know what I don't want. And when what I don't want shows up, I'm like, thanks for shopping. Bring your items to the register and check out.
Well, right. But the question is, how are you creating tools that, is kind of easy in the sense of like, yeah, get your stuff, check it out, you can go. But then as we know, with every person that you meet or every person that you're sexually involved with, remnants of them stained on you at some point. Right. So what are have you been trying to develop tools so that if they do have to part, where you are forgiving yourself moving forward, and how you're doing that?
Well, the thing is, I think self-exploration and the internal work I'm doing right now is where I need to stay before I think about that. Because, you know, like you got to take one step at a time. I was watching Damien, I can see you.
Oh my God, can you?
Oh, we can hear you too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hey.
I can see clearly now the rain. But yeah, so I'm taking one day at a time because I don't want to think about that yet. Right now, the work needs to be done here and here and here.
True.
Because there's a lot of damage that has happened over the years that I haven't dealt with. So that's what I need to deal with. Who knows? When I get out of this, I might just want to be by myself. Because I'm cute enough to be.
Okay.
That's okay.
And it's really and it is okay. But in that okay of being by yourself, are you giving up your sexual prowess? How do you navigate that?
Well, we're in the pandemic, so I ain't seeing nobody, so there.
Well, right now, but I'm saying, but in the future, as you said, once you get over,
it's totally right now.
Like right once now, the world works it back up, and then you decide, like, you know what, I think I just kind of, I'm good on my own. Mm-hmm. So are you good on your own with Rosie Palm and the Four Fingers, or are you like
for now
delving into companionship, and meaning like you're not going to really have a what you say committed relationship with somebody, but you may have like a friend, or
yeah,
you know, or
right now we're taking baby steps. So once we get out of here and you know we can breathe and we can walk around and introduce ourselves to people without just seeing their eyes, then I'll be able to explore more of that in detail. Right now it's too soon because, like I said, I could change my mind tomorrow and be like, I don't want to be with nobody. Something could pop up and be like, I don't want that. So right now I just want mental healing for myself, spiritual healing for my body, my mind, and my soul. True. And then from there, then I would like, because you know, I've been single for a minute. And I know how to do the celibacy thing. Oh, what's? Hold on, drop. Hold on, that word. See that? Why did? Hold on a second. Hold
on. Well, see, Neil, I have to say.
Well, wait. Before you say, I'm going to step back behind stage again, where I belong. It was great seeing you guys, and have a great rest of the show.
I'll see you later.
So as I was saying,
hi.
Before, you know, now that I'm no longer, you know, Max the Edric.
Okay, and he would be kind of incognito to you,
you know, right? I'm like, hi. And he kept doing this, and I'm doing it. I'm like, okay, yeah, no. But I, you know, in research and in preparing for this show, I was looking at one particular article that hit on a lot of bullet points, and even a lot of things that you said thus far has really hit home. And it hit a lot of bullet points of this article and also real life, because it was saying that mental illness can have a heavy effect on any type of relationship, especially romantic and sexual relationships. And one of the things that I've been saying, preaching, the whole nine, love starts with you first.
Yes.
If I can't sustain, or I don't avail myself to sustain a relationship with myself, then it's no use. You know, because at some point you're going to come to a bump in the road, and it'll be nobody's fault but yours. Exactly. Even though two parties will be there, but you knew you weren't ready. You knew you weren't ready to avail yourself to a whole nother being and a whole nother life. You know, so you really have to, because I mean, there's three ways mental illness can affect intimate relationships. It was talking about shame, guilt, and resentment. Mm-hmm. Also intimacy problems, which is, you know, uninterested in sex or your libido, or you know, sometimes the medication, if you're, you know, to that level of need of medication for your mental issues or illnesses, you know, it could mess with your personal body. Mm-hmm. So, and also the risk of codependent behaviors. So which is an enabler. So of course we don't want that.
No.
So that produces imbalance instead of balance. So, I totally agree and concur with you, because it's a need to invest in you.
Because like RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else?
You won't be able to. You just won't. You just
because
won't.
you be sitting behind your insecurities or your damage and blocked, and you won't be able to see clearly.
True.
And then you fall into all these traps.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are in these abusive relationships. People find themselves going, drug abuse,
Right.
sexual addiction. There's so many different paths that people are. Even now in the pandemic, people are terrified. Everything is heightened. If you were here before, now you're here.
Yes.
So if you had anxiety about going outside, you might not leave your room.
Exactly.
That's even added to that. So there's so much that I pray that everybody's getting the help they need. And if there's no way to get the help, talk to a friend. Speaking about it releases it. True. And then somebody can, hopefully you can find somebody with a listening ear and not somebody who's going to try and make it about them.
Exactly.
Well, I say,
how many of us, a great majority of us are guilty of this, but especially when we aren't at that place, rather, to give what we're dealing with mentally a name, you just kind of shuck it off. And then you go into the sex or the drugs or whatever, or that person becomes your drug. Like, oh, they just make me feel so much better. But I'm like, you're not healed. You're not whole. They can't help you with that. You have to help you with that.
Exactly. Not too many people understand that. And then, like I said, the brain is your computer. If you overload it with all these viruses and things that damage it, it's going to shut down.
Yes.
And that's why people have mental breaks, because there's so much your brain can handle. And us as Black people have been through so much. There's that word keep dropping out of my mouth. There's generational.
It just moves right on out. See?
Dang, nabbit. So this
maybe you need to have another sip. Maybe that'll help you.
Maybe that'll help.
Mm-hmm. It'll help you out. That's it. Mm-hmm. It'll help you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
this generational trauma.
Talk about that. Us as a African American kings and queens, and our young prince and princesses that have to daily. This is talk about a daily battle.
Daily.
So not only are we daily battling on outwardly, but also inwardly.
Mm-hmm.
Because those issues alone trigger these things.
Exactly.
So then when you pursue to live life and actually have something of luster and love and affection and all of those great things that come along with it, intimacy, and which I'm all about intimate support, especially in these days and time, even if it's just a friend, but even on the sexual, but you're looking to have that, but yet they jacked up, you jacked up, but then y'all just like, oh, and we still together after y'all didn't either have been abusive to each other physically or verbally or both, or you both have drug issues, you both have mental issues. The list is just,
it goes on. There's so many different dynamics to codependency, enablers, and all those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And we as Black people have to wear armor every day we go out.
Literally.
Because we're perceived as an angry Black person. We don't want to be ostracized because we're, it's just that we have to dull our shine a lot. But those days are over.
Totally over.
We're done. You know what I mean? Not going to smile and adjust myself for you anymore. No.
Yeah, so many times I've been asked to dim my light. They were like, oh, your spirit is so huge. Can you just... No more.
No.
I promise you, once I learned that I have a lifelong crown on my head,
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't stop me.
There you go.
Because I learned, that's when I really began to embrace and avail myself to knowing of my worth.
Mm-hmm. You have to know your worth.
It's a total must. It's a total must, you know, because if you don't, not only if you don't love yourself, but if you don't know your worth, because as soon as you know your worth, a lot of things that you have been allowing, you'll stop it.
Stop. It's like, I won't deal with that anymore. Why do I do that? Because I feel better about myself. I know more about myself, and I'm not going to do that to myself. There's so much self-abuse that we do daily, as far as like putting ourselves down, not enjoying the moment, because we're always going. And there's another woman that I listened to. Her name is Brene Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked about foreboding joy.
Right.
We get things and we like, oh, that could be gone tomorrow. So we don't enjoy it anymore because we're like, okay, well, I got this job now with all these white people. Let me see how long I can stay here because, you know.
Right. Let's see how long this lasts. Right.
And, oh, I'm in a relationship now. Well, the last relationship didn't end well, so let me see how long this is going to last.
I call that living with a but. This is nice, but this is, yeah, I have this right now.
But. I live with a but every day. What's the problem?
Right. Like, oh my gosh.
It's
always there.
It's always there.
But I mean, it's just like, yeah, we really, and it's the same thing because look at the repetitive things we've done. Just being real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those of us, of course, we're men. We're African American kings first. We're men. We love sex. We love love. We love joy and good times, and you know. Case in point, who doesn't love the nut? So then you find somebody attractive.
I'll drink to that. Come on.
Yeah. One more time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, one more again. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, you attract. Not only do you attract these people, but you then, after a while, realize you're attracting a certain kind of person. While you're mentally off and haven't thought about yourself and haven't started loving you first, you start seeing things. You start seeing a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have trouble in the home, and trouble doesn't have to come from somebody, you could be living with yourself and still have trouble in your home. It could be in here. And when trouble's in the home, trouble follows you everywhere.
Everywhere. Into your job, into your relationship, into your daily walk. Even
the type of people you just attract for a one-night stand.
Exactly. I know for me, I know that I'm also a massage therapist, so I find myself to be a healer. Because so many people said, you know, you've healed me in a way rather than just molding my skin off, you know, all of that. So I attract a lot of people that need help and counseling and comfort and stuff like that. And I find myself comforting people even when I need comforting. So all the time.
You confirmed something because I'm not professionally, but I've been giving massages for years and I enjoy it to give it more than I do getting it.
Well, I like to give massage.
And I'm a spiritual being. So you connect, you know, when you hit certain spots and you can tell their spirit and all of it.
Like one of my clients recently, he came by because I started doing massages again, only for like people that I've worked with before or people that I know are doing their social distancing.
Right.
And I was working on him, and they say the left side is the side of emotions and where you hold a lot of stuff. And I felt he was really congested over that side.
Those knots. Yeah.
Right. And because of us as Black men, we don't cry regularly. We don't show our emotions. We don't, you know, we're like, yeah, we gotta be a man, yo. What's up, yo? What's up,
right.
yo?
I mean, it's all a learned behavior.
All a learned behavior from social, from where you grew up. Be a man. That's not a man thing.
Right. We taught how to make money, spit, and fuck. That's just basically.
Oh, you can say fuck. Whoa. Okay. Sorry. Oh, that's his fuck. Okay. Anyway, but when I started working on him, I just said, breathe. Breathe. It's okay. And that's what you have to learn to say to yourself. It's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to release. And he broke down. And I broke down because it felt so cleansing. And I was there. We cried for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's something that's needed right now. You need to release that weight that's holding you down, that's bringing you pain or keeping pain inside.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so,
sir. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful experience. It's more than just a touch.
It's more than
connection.
It's a connection.
I'm seeing you naked in more ways than one. And I'm here not to take, but to give you something.
Exactly, and that's a very intimate
of healing.
Yeah, that's a very intimate gift to give somebody. Because not too many people have that intimacy in their lives. So people go to massage therapists because they want to be felt, they want to be touched, they want to be cared for. So there's a lot of hurting people out there that need that comfort, whether it be through massage, there's a lot of things that make people happy that you need to find out what makes you happy.
Exactly.
What your soul, what brightens your day.
Mm-hmm.
And stop listening to all those regimented things that we grew up with. So what, you drop your clothes on the floor. Leave it there for a little bit. I know I get anxiety when I see them, like, oh God, I gotta pick it up. But that's because of what I learned.
Yeah, same here. I mean, because even some of my old coworkers, they would see me come, oh, here come OCD, because I don't like dirt. But and here's the thing, I've learned to relax more, because especially when you're someone who consistently worries, even when you're not pursuing to.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something here. This is always moving, and it's not always productive. It's just things that you create.
Just creating.
That are not healthy to any part of you.
All that conflama and all that drama is
right.
It just congests your brain. You can't think. And we, like I said, we're always moving and now we're not affected anymore because we're numb to what is happening. Usually numb to what is happening. But
I want to ask you a question. Now that you have been pursuing and going to therapy, how do you see yourself? I mean, is there a joy or victory? Can you look in the mirror and say, Neil, hey, I love you?
There was a time when that feels so amazing, because there was a time when, growing up, I grew up in with so many different roadblocks in being expressive in who I was. Because I came from England, first of all, so I came to America in Brooklyn, and those kids were mean.
Yeah, rough. Yeah, I'm about to say rough as hell.
Rough, because I'm here talking like this and talking proper and talking all this stuff, right? And they come over there, hey, how you doing? They're like, yo, man, you can't talk like that. So I had to quiet my voice. So that was the first thing. Then growing up in a Seventh-day Adventist Christian household with Jamaican parents, everything is strict. You have to present yourself right. You have to don't tell your business out in the street.
Apostolic upbringing, so I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of these things are pressing down who I am. So right now I'm releasing all of these things, and I can look in my face with my, what they used to call soup cooler lips.
They're beautiful. Rock with them. Hey. Love them.
You know what I mean? All the things that I was teased about growing up, I love now. I love every aspect of myself.
Yes. Yes.
I love, and there was a lot of things that I did in the pandemic that were on the other spectrum of myself, because I'm always clean. I had to present it well. I let myself get fat. I let my hair grow out. I did the George experiment on my YouTube thingy. I don't have YouTube. What am I talking about? on my Facebook stuff. I just let myself grow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I let my nails grow.
Hey.
So all things I hadn't experienced in a long time or never experienced, I allowed myself to experience those so I could see myself with my flaws, see myself in this position. Because if you don't know where you are in that moment, how are you going to enjoy it? Or how are you going to explain it to somebody? Oh, I did that.
Exactly.
Experience is a good teacher. So you got to learn.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm on this journey, as you say, health journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn how to love all 200 plus pounds of me, because I had to learn that. In order for me to love where I'm going, I have to love where I am.
Hey,
Dance for a bless her. That's it. Give them glory. I had to learn in other words, I had to love myself right where I am. And here's the thing. Everything that we've been taught to call flaws are not. Because I've caught people off guard, because the very thing that they thought was ugly about themselves, I thought it was so beautiful. Because just like you said, soup cooler lips. You know, it just like, you know, it's something about us and a part of us that is so beautiful, just naturally. Besides the fact that it's attractive.
And people are doing it for money, injecting their lips and their booties and all
just needles and everything. Just inject, and they look like they're swollen. I'm like, baby, who hit you in your lips, girl? You look a mess. You look a mess. I mean, you know, so now that you're here and you're at a place where none of these things that you were taught no longer matters. Mm-hmm. How do you see yourself now?
I see myself as I still find myself learning who I am. And I appreciate myself so much more. And I can speak so much freer. And I don't feel like I'm rushed. So I am just enjoying where I am right now and feeling what that feels like. Because I haven't allowed myself to feel in a long time. I was not affected. If there was a problem, I know how to fix problems. I was fixing it like that, but still not affecting me. How do you feel about this situation? How is it, you know? So now I'm learning to be affected more. As far as like my experiences, I cry regularly and it feels so good because of the release that I get from it. And after I cry, I can laugh because you have to know what the other side is before you can enjoy the good. So, yep.
And isn't it funny that those of us, because we have to, and here's the crazy part about it. We have to give honor to where honor is due. Is because all of those wrong things and all those things are being brought up in religion, how to suppress the real you. And it's so funny. We're taught to live and to be a chameleon, but yet we say we serve a God of truth. How does that work? But yeah, amen, lights and wine. You know, I had to have a little sip, excuse me. You know, let me. Mm-hmm. That's something, because especially after I stepped away from all of it. And I had to for my own self and healing and wholeness. And I begin to see some things. And I begin to sit back and talking with God and just like, God, you said you're the living truth, but yet we're consistently and daily living a lie. How is that honoring you or even honoring ourselves?
That's because people are ruling religion. People are taking scriptures and making them, accountable to whatever they want to do. That's how they.
Religion is nothing but another form of mental enslavement.
Oppression, slavery, whatever you want to call it. because it's like, you can't do this. You're not, if you do this, you're gonna go to hell. I remember one time this woman told me when I was growing up in church, she said, "You have such a beautiful voice. Only sing for God or you'll lose it."
Oh wow. Yeah, it's all about scaring you to Jesus, and that's not.
No. The God I know is a loving God. He does not judge. He does not put stipulations on the love that he has for you because of what you do or who you are. And then meanwhile, all these people,
he's all inclusive.
Right. And all these church people in the background really having children out of wedlock and having sex behind the thing and cheating on their wives and then telling you how to live your life.
But isn't that, and that's so funny you're going there, because the point I was going to make was, I said, isn't it funny how people like us, because our past has made us strong, and for so long we didn't see anything wrong with ourselves, but yet we were consistently helping somebody else.
See?
So, and we wondered why our relationships didn't work, even people that we thought, and one time I had a naked moment to myself, because I said, wow, I wondered, some of the men that I really wanted to be with, did they actually see me for who I was, and it caused them to run? They saw the monsters that I hadn't confronted.
And that's the thing. People see, no matter how much you try to hide, if that person is really focused on who you are and they know who they are, they can see you. They can see every flaw. They can see the hurt. They can see the pain, or they can see some of the things you're hiding. They're like, something is not right. And you're like, hey, I'm good. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing fine.
I'm fabulous. As I always say, I'm dynamic.
I'm dynamic. And you see the pain, because the eyes are the windows to the soul.
Truth.
And you can see, if you look somebody in the eye, you can see where their intentions are. You can see where they're coming from. You can see how genuine are, especially if you can feel. So once you get out of your way, you can really see people for who they are. Once you stop running, once you stop working, once you're in a pandemic, that's what's happening now. We see you clearly.
Right here for who you are. It is just like, yeah.
Even with my mask
on. We also see you here. Right. Boom, boom. So yeah, it's like all of those things. And that's why I stand by getting to know who you are and loving who you are. Before, because I'm a love child. I love to love. I love everything. I'm a diehard romantic, all of that, and just ooey gooey. But it was like, okay, yeah, bro. First things first. You. You've been attending to everybody else when all along you needed to be tending to you. And so now it's your turn, huh? Yeah. We're pulling the curtain and exposing you to you. Yeah, how about that?
And that's when people get uncomfortable, because they don't like to be exposed. They don't want this stuff. Yeah. Because let me tell you, everybody is human. Everybody does stuff that is not conducive to what social, constraints are, or whatever is happening. We make mistakes. It's okay. It's okay to fall down and be like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm never going to come outside. No, everybody falls. Everybody gets hurt. Everybody's stolen a cookie from the grocery store.
Like the old song said, everybody plays the fool sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's where it is. You know what I mean? You are not alone in whatever you're going through.
No.
It's been there, done that.
You're special, but you're not special. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody is unique, but there's some experiences that everybody goes through. People have been hurt before. People have been, not gotten the job opportunity they wanted, not gotten the gig, you know what I mean? Or have somebody who's out to get them.
Exactly.
Been bullied. I've been bullied so many ways and so many different avenues. It's ridiculous.
And here's the thing. We thought it was okay because we thought they cared for us.
You know what I mean?
But actually, they were fighting and dealing with their own demons that they really wasn't dealing with. They just knew how to govern themselves in the midst of it.
Because hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not happy. I'm going to make your life miserable.
And a lot of times I don't have to do it intentionally. I'm just going to do it because that's not only where I am, but unfortunately who I am, because I have to confront it.
That becomes your character. That becomes who you are. I always tell
people, you know, after a while, when you wear a mask for so long, it becomes you.
It sinks into your skin. And you don't know how to take it off because it's so in. What's one mean? 1 minute? Oh, 10 minutes. I was like, yeah. What does one mean? Okay, so and I know for myself, huh? I have been wearing a mask for years. And it's you know, it's a challenge to unmask myself. I've been learning how to do that and being comfortable with that, because being vulnerable in front of people is so hard, especially when you got damaged parts. You don't want people to see the damaged parts. You're like, I'm going to keep smiling. I'm going to keep doing this so you don't see exactly what's happening.
We've become, now, our first profession was actually learning how to cover up, mastering it. That was actually our first profession. Like, I don't want you to see this, so I got to put enough blush and foundation just to make sure.
And we were talking
the right tie, the right suit, the right swag, you know, all that, so you don't see me.
Exactly. And we were taught that from a very young age.
And then when it comes to relationships, it's like, baby, here I am. I'm giving you me, but what are you? Who are you? I'm like, actually, I don't want it because it's kind of it's tainted.
It's tainted.
You need to deal with.
It's not true. It's not real.
No.
Your presentational self. I don't want to see a presentation. I want to see the hurt. I want to see the pain. I want to see the blood and the tears.
Mm-hmm.
Show me who you truly are so I can be who I truly am. And if that doesn't work, it's okay.
Right.
Because that's another thing about unequally yoked when it says it in the Bible. It doesn't mean about being
not having
black
in common. Right.
You have things in common. You have different circumstances, different environment, different autopsy.
On all levels. Yeah.
All of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Jacked up.
So you got to know.
Literally.
You know, like a puzzle piece. You have puzzle pieces that look like this and puzzle pieces that look like this. Those two aren't going to fit. But if you get this one that fits like that, you're like, oh, that's my partner. That's my love.
And my last question. Or observation, should I say, and you can expound however you feel, but how many times have we seen people who were both, like I said, stated earlier, dysfunctional, and they felt like, okay, yeah, I'm full of, and you full of, so yeah, we a good match. No.
Clean your up before you come into a relationship. Because some people think that a relationship, you have to be
ammonia and bleach.
Your whole. No. Each individual person comes together with their own stuff. They are one whole complete unit. And then they come together and they enjoy each other. They have conversations.
That's why it's so important not to jump and marry people after a year. Never mind. That's a whole nother show, because dear God, that's a whole nother, as I used to say, that's a whole nother sermon. Yeah, that one. Yeah, because I about went there. I about lost it. Yeah.
In other news, yeah.
Glory.
But yeah, get a therapist, know who you are, love yourself, and then the rest will fall into place. When we get out of our own way, the world's our oyster.
Yeah.
As long as we get.
Before I let you go, I have to affirm you and remind you and let you know that you are a beautiful breath of fresh air.
Aww.
You have so much powerful meaning and purpose and destiny. It's all on you. I can see it. and it's visible. And I have to commend you and give you your flowers for actually going to therapy, because many of us won't and don't.
Because it's a thing.
Take that one step
to freedom
and healing and inner health, mental health. So I appreciate you for sharing, not only with me, but with our viewers, that all things are possible, but you have to apply yourself. You have to avail yourself. And the mere fact that you have taken that step, that one step, and you're doing it. So, and that's one thing that we have to get out of our vocabulary is try, because God didn't give us power to try. He gave us power to do all things. So it's just the fact that you are doing it. Your healing is destined. You're expected to win because of the steps that you are taking and have taken, you know. And are there any more words of life and wisdom that you would love to leave with us?
Just love yourself. Love yourself first, and the rest will follow.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I mean, and while you're here, I just want to speak with our viewers and just remind you that this show, this podcast is not just for show. This podcast is about wholeness and health and mental health and healing. We want to encourage you with each show, each podcast, to take that step, make that move for your life. And I just, want to encourage you to love yourself, as Neil told us. He gave us a living life tool that will carry you through the rest of your life. So for those of you who want that balance, and it's possible for you to have that balance with mental health and a healthy, loving, lifelong partnership of a relationship, you can have it. But it's up to you to take that step. Check it out. Do your research. Don't just go to one therapist. Sometimes you have to check out 3 or 4 to see who fits, because that's something that is needed. This is your journey, your personal healing journey. So you have to take it seriously and take it by the horns. And just know that every step that you take is going to be so worth it. Why? Because you are worth it. And I also, before I leave, I want to remind you to check out tomorrow night, City Love Speaks, with our amazing Andre Fields and myself and a host of our other hosts who are just simply amazing, Stephen, Tabitha. And it's going to be awesome. So you don't want to miss it. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow night, Tuesday. Once again, my name is Damian-Michael Williams, and loving yourself is vital. So do it and enjoy you. All right? Till next time, I'll see you again. Thank you for tuning in. We're working it out with Damian-Michael Williams. Love and peace.